Hello everyone, today we're looking at one of these. No, this is not just a brown box, it is in fact what it says on the box. This is a Maxon EPC590e. Most of y'all probably don't mean much to you. I'm not even sure this is the original box, although it does look like it. I get the feeling this was just a generic replacement box. So let's take a look inside. The 4-digit number is just a reference for me. And see what you got when you bought one of these back in the day. Certainly, like I said, the box might not be original, but it certainly got the cardboard layout as to how you would have it in an original box. So that's what you got. You got the phone, a desktop, shoe, a charger, and obviously the battery. So let's take a look. You got the phone, which is sizable actually. It's comparative to a Motorola Classic, which I happen to have one of here. Similar sort of size, slightly wider actually, but not as deep. So with the battery, it is rather heavy. Certainly not something you could carry in your shirt pocket. Let me get this right. So yeah, got a little clip there, and that, I mean, that you couldn't carry that in your shirt pocket. Maybe in your back pocket if you wore jeans, but certainly not in your shirt pocket. This does look a little bit like one of the old school Oki phones. I'm not actually sure the model of this, of the Oki phone that this looks very similar to. The Oki phone is, the one I'm talking about is similar to this, but instead of having a square thing, it's got a big round thing. This is another Oki phone that I own. This one is, I think this is a, it doesn't even say what this is actually. I'm not even sure. But I got this off a guy who broke his collection up a couple of years ago, and I've never got it to work because the battery is just hollow. He's taken the cells out. But so this does look like one of the Oki phones. It might be like a CDL 200 or something like that. This looks like. But anyway, you got an antenna, which is obviously a screw-on one, like so. And I'm not too sure why they have two little holes there, even though the antenna has just one connector. I really fail to see what that was for. Maybe it was for a car kit of some sort, but that's the antenna. That's just got a metal plate on it. I don't know if you can tell. But anyway, screws in like so. Nice and tidy. Pretty stiff actually. That's quite stiff. So certainly that is sizable. Compare that to a Motorola Classic. And you get the sort of idea of size in terms of, and this is the first I picked off the pile. I mean, you could take a Dynasty, similar sort of size. If you all know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so you got the charger. This is of course a 3-pin. This operates on ETACS, and you got a nice little desktop charging stand with the original Maxon details down below. So let's see if we can try and fire this one up. I don't actually have the manual in this box, which is why I think this might be a replacement box, or like an insurance replacement or something like that. Anyway, so this goes in like so. It clips in. Got two release buttons there. Power goes in there. So let's just quickly plug this sucker in. Got the Maxon logo on there as well. Output 14 volts. You always got to be careful with some of these older phones because the center pin on these chargers isn't always positive. And if you got a DC and the center pin isn't always positive, and it's negative, you're reversing the polarity on these, and you tend to damage the phone and or the battery. If you have some of these old phones, you plug straight into the battery. Of course, your negative polarity, you're going to do serious damage to the cells, especially as they're already weak because they're so old. Right, I've just untangled the cable. Sorry about that. So let's plug this sucker in. And hopefully this will come to life. it's got an orange light, which has just turned from orange to red. I'm guessing that turns green when it's charged, but as yet nothing. So let's try and power this sucker up. Well, that's a good start. Maxon systems. It says Vodafone. Now this operates on ETACS, and I'm not sure why it's picking up. Well, it's not picking up service because it's got no service there, but it still says Vodafone. Interestingly, so this is one of these phones that is obviously registered to Vodafone ETACS analog, but still displays the name of the cellular provider the phone is registered to, even if there's not any service. So I'm going to have to do the video holding the case like so, because otherwise it just oh, actually it doesn't. I've taken that off the charger and it seems to have stayed on, but I'm not going to take the risk. I'm guessing that's the battery meter, which is fluctuating between 1 and 2. So let's quickly take a look at the menu on this. Now it's got a couple of things on here. So number one is lock, which is different to Motorola's, because function 5 is lock on Motorola's because the L is on the 5 key. Function 2 is ring. Function 3 is beep. Function 4 is mute. Function 5 is light. Function 6 system. Function 7 roam. Function 8 Vox. And function 9 battery. So let's start off with the battery. Oh, how do you do that then? Function 9. Does it do anything? Battery level. There we go. It displays the battery level. Battery charging. That's what I want to see. Okay, so you gotta understand. Some of these old phones, there wasn't a nice touchscreen menu. There wasn't a menu as such. You just pressed the function and then a number key, and that gave you the function that you were sort of changing. There was no up and down, left and right select or back buttons or anything like that. These old analog phones are about as basic as you can get. This one has 9 functions, because obviously 1 to 9. I have phones where there's just literally 1 or 2 functions. It doesn't even have a battery meter. It doesn't even have a service meter. In fact, if you checked out the old video I did, I think it was late last year, a Motorola phone, it ain't even got a display. It is literally a phone without a display, just 3 LEDs on the side to show you it's on. You're in a call, and I'm not sure what the third LED is, but real basic things. So having a screen and a function key and a sequence is actually quite advanced by the standards back then, not obviously by today's standards. So function ring. Not too sure if that will give us enable ringtone. Yes, I want to do that. Ringtone on. Backlight. So I'm using the volume keys up here to navigate. Roam enable. Battery level. New code. Restrict calls. Auto lock. Charge time. So actually this did have a somewhat smallish sort of menu. But not too great. So this is done 4 hours and 35 minutes and 12 seconds in all, by the looks of it. Non-preferred. What else we got? Some preferred service. Select. So Vodafone service only. So I don't know if you guys know, but on the old ETACS service, you could have subscription to more than one cellular provider. So a bit like on amps, you had Scan A and Scan B, or home network, and a similar kind of thing. So if there was no service for Vodafone and you were subscribed to Cellnet, which were the 2 providers at the time in the UK, you could switch between the 2. This is, by the looks of it, only programmed up for subscription to Vodafone. So let's have a look. So lock phone, enable ringtone. I'm not sure how you would. Do you go store? How would you so function ring, and then what? Do you go to again ringtone on? Then what? I wish I had a manual for this, but key presses beep, mute, backlight mode, system select. So that's always a good one. How do you go store? I'm not even sure. on some Motorola's you press store to select. So function beep. Okay. System select. Okay, so do you press right, okay, system M only. Suddenly the beeps have gotten louder. I'm not sure if I'm responsible for that. I take no credit. But it doesn't seem to let you do anything. Just literally says system M only. So I guess that's that. Not sure what the Vox function does. The roam function would have obviously let you roam onto a non-home network. Roam off. Okay. So what if you press that again? Roam enable. How do you enable this thing? Function 7. Maybe you're going to wait till it shows up. Roam off. No. Roam on. So use the pound and star keys to actually switch things on and off by the looks of it. So let's try and do the ringtone then. Function 2. Enable to ringtone on, ringtone off. So you toggle by basically pressing the star key. So we'll have that. We'll leave that, and I'm guessing that saves it. And that's pretty much it. Real basic, real basic. Function Vox. Not sure what the Vox does, but power save. Oh, right, okay. So it is just the star key that enables and disables it. Power save on, power save off. Not sure what that would do. Maybe that would change the frequency of when or how often this would search for a cellular service or something. But pretty basic. That's all I can tell you guys about this particular phone. It is basic, but these worked. I actually had a friend that had one of these. Not this very one, unfortunately. I would have loved to get his phone, but he threw his out many years ago. Many years ago. One of the guys that I remember that had one of these when he was at college many years ago. Quite a young guy, significantly younger than me, but he had one of these, and everybody thought he was a drug dealer, because back in those days only drug dealers had cell phones. Neat phone. I probably would get service on this particular one if I could. Saying that, I would get service on this as well, or on the 8000, but unfortunately analog technology is long being switched off, and we got to make do with digital, which is slightly better, but marginally, I would say. But anyway, thanks for checking this video out. If you got any questions, I will do my best to answer as always. I'm not an expert, but I'll try and help out as best as I can. Drop me a comment, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to like and share as well. Thanks for watching. Full thumbs up to everybody, and thanks for all your support. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.